ప్రస్తుతం మనం హైదరాబాద్ గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్లో ఉన్నాం. ఇక్కడ చాలామంది సీఈఓలు అదేవిధంగా పరిశ్రమ నిపుణులు ఇక్కడ గోల్ఫ్ ఆడటానికి వచ్చారు. ఇందులో భాగంగా మనకు టైఎస్బి ప్రెసిడెంట్ ప్రదీప్ మిట్టల్ గారు ఉన్నారు. అదేవిధంగా మన స్టార్టప్లో ఎన్నో వెంచర్స్పై ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసిన ఏంజల్ ఫండింగ్ అదేవిధంగా చాలా కంపెనీలో ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసిన రింపుల్ చావ్లా గారు కూడా మనతో ఉన్నారు. ఆయన అడిగి హైదరాబాద్లో ఈ స్టార్టప్ ఎకోసిస్టమ్ ఏ రకంగా ఉంది, అదేవిధంగా టీ హబ్ మొదటి దశ రెండో దశ దీని ఫలితాలు ఏ రకంగా వస్తున్నాయి, అదే రకంగా ఈ ఫ్యూచర్లో హైదరాబాద్ ఎకోసిస్టమ్ ఏ రకంగా పెరగనుందనే అంశాలను తెలుసుకుందాం. మొదటగా ప్రదీప్ మిట్టల్ గారితో మాట్లాడుతున్నాం. ప్రదీప్ మిట్టల్ గారు నమస్తే అండి.
నమస్కారం అండి.
ఫస్ట్ ఐ వాంట్ టు నో వాట్ ఈస్ యువర్ ఒపీనియన్ అబౌట్ ది బడ్జెట్. సో ఆర్ యూ సాటిస్ఫైడ్ ఫర్ ది అలొకేషన్ ఫర్ ది స్టార్టప్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ దోస్ థింగ్స్?
See the whole budget with the current government, they are simplifying the whole process, making it just very incremental reforms, and whatever they have done both for the individual and corporate, I think they did an excellent job.
Sir, Chawla ji, so what is your opinion on present budget, sir?
I listen. I think as I agree with Pradeep here. I think it was a great budget. I think budget is usually a very overrated exercise in India, and what they're trying to do is make sure that it is what it is, which is just a random collection of numbers. How much did they spend? How much did they earn? How much they expect to spend? How much do they expect to earn? So I think they did a phenomenal job. There was no big announcement, which is how it should be. All the big announcements like demonetization happened much before the budget. So budget needs to be an exercise in trying to make sure that we have a good account of earnings and expenditure, and a few tax changes here and there, a few other announcements. But otherwise, I thought it was a great exercise.
So Pradeep Mittal ji, so right now after formation of the T Hub and it's completed almost 1 year like that, so how you see the ecosystem, how is the ecosystem of Hyderabad in startups right now in India, where we stand and what we need to do for the betterment of the ecosystem of the startups?
The Hyderabad startup ecosystem started almost 10 years ago, and with a college like Indian School of Business, Triple IT Hyderabad, IIT Hyderabad, and ICFI Business School, BITS, NIPER, NALSAR, and IMT, Narsing Monji, they all are adding value to the majority of the ecosystem. So Microsoft R&D, United Technologies R&D. So we need some more private companies opening their R&D center here, the way we have life sciences and defense R&D and all like. So we have not brought many technology companies opening their R&D center here the way it is open in Bangalore. So that creates more value add or high quality startup system. But the startup system has improved dramatically in the last 10 years. And T Hub added a lot of value add, created a lot of awareness so that more and more people can get benefit from the networking which the government is bringing to the people from all over the world.
Sir, what is your opinion? What we need to do for the betterment to improve the ecosystem of Hyderabad in startup systems?
I think a lot of efforts have been made to build awareness, to improve the conditions of the startups who come out of Hyderabad. And I think there is no magic bullet in making sure that the startup ecosystem becomes whatever it is. It is an incremental process, and I think the government is doing a very fine job in promoting the culture of startups. T Hub, as an example, there are quite a number of accelerators that have come up in Hyderabad, quite a number of VCs who are supporting the Hyderabad ecosystem. And I think, as I said, all of these things, don't happen in one day. It has happened over the last 7, 8, 10 years. We are starting to see some companies, some startups. We always had, pharmaceutical companies, which were the shining light for the Hyderabad city. But now we have technology companies, biotechnology companies, e-commerce and logistics companies also coming out of Hyderabad, which are going to improve the culture. And all of these schools, business schools, technology schools that have come up in Hyderabad will be a definite catalyst towards making Hyderabad rise higher on the startup ecosystem map.
So Chawla ji, so in startups, in only 8 to 7% success is there. More than 90% startups will fail. So, and for the Hyderabad startups and for the students who are eager to start their startups, what is your suggestions? What they need to do before starting a startup?
See, there is no one size fits all, right? I mean, there are some kids who are very bright and very clear about what they have to do. But generally speaking, the advice that I like to offer to people who want to get into startups is think big, have the confidence, but don't have overconfidence in your abilities. As you rightly said, the success rate for a startup worldwide is less than 10%, and therefore, if you are venturing on a path wherein the success rate is less than 10%, you ought to be very, very careful. What has started to happen over the last 4 or 5 years now in India and also in Hyderabad is that entrepreneurship or the success of an entrepreneur has started to become, when you raise money, you think, okay, you are successful, which is not the case. Success of an entrepreneurship or a business is as a result of creating real cash flows, real profitability, real revenue, having a real customer. So I think all of these people need to understand that building a sustainable business is all about creating customers, creating brand awareness, creating a product that the customers require, and in the process creating money for the business. Getting venture funding or not is secondary to the success of a venture. And I think people need to understand that. So my sincere advice to some of these students and first-time entrepreneurs is to think hard and long about what they are planning to do, and if they really have confidence in what they want to achieve and what they are setting out to do, by all means go for it. But be very mindful and very cognizant of the fact that failure is a part of this game, and if they fail, they can get up again and start.
Okay, so Pradeep Mittal ji, what is your suggestions for the young entrepreneurs, first-time entrepreneurs who start their startup?
See, the best thing in today's information available, all kind of help available from the government, from the people around in the city and all like, they can actually take that risk. Even if they don't go to a professional job for 4 to 5 years, they're not going to miss much, because the life expectancy has gone up very, very high, and the current generation is going to live probably 100 years and more. So they are 60 years of working life almost. So they can actually take the risk. They do need the family support, they need their friends support to actually fund them. So the idea has to be vetted by some experts around the field that they are trying to start up an idea, and they have to ensure that they are very focused, very passionate about it, but not attached to it, so they don't go blindly behind it and throw money into that. As Rimple just mentioned, that it has to make money for the business eventually, because if you want people to invest in the startup, it has to show that the individual, the person who started the startup, and the team that is building and the business that is building are all viable.
Sir, finally, sir, Chawla ji, see how the state government is doing, how their TSI pass and other T-Hub like initiative, how they are, and even like Apple, Google and Uber, Amazon like companies also coming to Hyderabad. So overall, how is the policy level, how is the government support, and what is your suggestion, what we need to do for the ease of doing business, what is your suggestions?
I think this government has done a fantastic job over the last year and a half that they have been governing the state, the new state. T-Hub as an example, coming up in 1 year has been a phenomenal achievement. As you said, Apple signing up to be in Hyderabad is a great boost to the city of Hyderabad. All of the other major US companies expanding their footprints in Hyderabad is again an endorsement of brand Hyderabad. What they can do, I travel a lot within India and outside, and you realize that the infrastructure in Hyderabad, although it is slightly better than maybe Bangalore or other cities, there still needs to be a lot needs to be done to make sure that the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure, obviously the software infrastructure is very important, but I think for a larger company like an Apple or an Amazon to say, hey, I want to be in Hyderabad and I want to make Hyderabad as my destination in India, the physical infrastructure needs to improve and needs to improve drastically. Situations like what we had last monsoon cannot continue forever. So I think my only humble suggestion to the government or the authorities that may be is to make sure that they continue the good work, they improve transparency in governance, they ensure that fair play is rewarded, foul play is punished, and the need of the city is to create a good, healthy physical infrastructure wherein people are actually inclined to come and live in Hyderabad and not go away for greener pastures.
सर प्रदीप मित्तल जी आप बोलिए सो हाउ इज़ द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द तेलंगाना इवन गवर्नमेंट आल्सो कॉल्स देमसेल्फ एज ए स्टार्टअप स्टेट सो हाउ यू सी द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द स्टेट एंड पॉलिसीज
See, the best thing happened to the current government is they have people's mandate, they have the support of everyone in the state, so they actually can create this startup state into the best state in the country by what just now Rimple mentioned. I think the most important thing is the road infrastructure. If the roads in the cities, if the people traveling on the roads are not safe, it's going to impact the productivity of all the businesses in the state, in the city and all like. So it's very important that they pay attention to the nitty-gritty, the details, and they really work on the woes of the people not getting stuck in the traffic or not getting hurt in the traffic. So that's the most important part. Hyderabad had that brand for a long time. If they don't fix that, it may lose that brand. And the government has all the mandate to support them. They have all the intention, they have all the goodwill. I wish they have all the funds to actually go and deploy that and make the Hyderabad the best state in the best city in the country. And I wish the government great success on this thing, because they're doing a lot of work outside the government. So and government plays a key role with the Thai chapter as such, and they help us a lot. We use their offices to project the startup ecosystem, and it's actually a win-win for everybody here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Pradeep Garu, and thank you, Chawla Garu, for your nice interaction and nice opinion about it.
Thank you, HMTV. Thank you.
ఇది ప్రదీప్ గారు చెప్తున్నారు. హైదరాబాద్లో స్టార్టప్ ఎకోసిస్టమ్ చాలా బాగుందని, రానున్న రోజుల్లో ఇది మరింత పెరిగే అవకాశం ఉందని, అదేవిధంగా హైదరాబాద్కు ఎంఎన్సీని ఆకర్షించే శక్తి ఉందని, భౌగోళికంగా అదేవిధంగా మౌలిక వసతుల రూపంలో చాలా ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ బాగుందని చెప్పేసి రానున్న రోజుల్లో హైదరాబాద్ ఇదే రకంగా పారిశ్రామిక రంగంలో దూసుకుపోతుందని వారు చెప్తున్నారు. గోల్ఫ్ క్లబ్ నుండి నవీన్ రెడ్డి, HMTV, హైదరాబాద్.